see. Yeah. Now, that way I can make sure we keep our time together. What is up? It is your girl, Christy Love, and the Love Language Podcast. That is me and LUV. Life unapologetically vibrant, living in vibrancy always, and unapologetically sharing through the language of love. Hi, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be back recording. I have some things that are coming in the works. Just uploaded Dallas Days. I hope you've seen that and shared a good time with me. I don't know what's going on with my little light. I just charged it, but maybe I didn't do it right. Anyways, we're not gonna let that kill the vibe. We are still here, especially for the guys that are just listening. It doesn't even make a difference, anyways. Ooh, let me see if I can do this. Be real technical. Not really. Boop. Huh. Huh. I think we're still alive. So, yes, I hope you've checked out Dallas Days and gotten into that experience with me. It was such a good time going out to Dallas, Texas. Dallas Fort Worth has a special place in my heart, as I will continue to say. But anyways, also getting into a blog post posting tonight. It's going to be released. Just a little something that has been on my heart and on my mind for a while. So, it's time to release it. That's Kid's never too far away, and that's her jingling. So, shout out, Shug. Um, this episode of the Love Language Podcast is with yours truly. You know what? You're gonna get so much of me that you are gonna want so badly to see a new face. I'm gonna make sure of that. And I'm gonna give it to you. So everybody wins. But this episode right here, this one's all on me. Again, obviously. So, it's gonna be at least two parts, because I'm actually getting ready to get up and go out of town for a little, just for a day, to help out with some election things my mother's gotten me into. So I'm gonna not really just volunteer my services, because you do get paid. Shout out. Please go see what you can do for your community. You don't always have to get paid, but let me tell you, it's definitely a perk when you do, okay? So we love a little extra pocket change. So I'm gonna do that. Anyways, this episode is going to be Love and Vanity. Life unapologetically vibrant and vanity. And I have to say that because especially getting into my 20s, I maybe not come to the realization that I'm like a vain person, but I can be really vain. I don't want to just characterize myself as I just always put myself first and want to be this center of attention and think everything is about me. But I realized, in reality, that a lot of situations that at least play out in my mind are centered around the kid. And I'm an only child. I don't think that's an excuse, but I think that is, it would make sense to be like a characteristic, because you were kind of just like the only one, right? I mean, only children, please, not children, only adults. If you are an only child in your family, let me know if you can relate, please. So I want to get into that, and I'm almost 30 years old, not quite there yet, but that's a lot to unpack. So I think there's gonna definitely be more than this one sit down. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, as always, let's say our affirmations. because it has been such a beautiful time, and I'm blessed. You, like I said, might hear the kitty girls outside. They hear me talking. um, I'm so blessed to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to help animals in any way that I can, whether it's a surgical or technical side of it, or volunteering, or finding them, helping them find new homes. So um, I took in a couple of kitty girls, and they're gonna be like kind of indoor outdoor. I'm in the country, so I feel like that's so much space for kitty cats to just roam around and enjoy that enrichment of seeing the birds and the lizards and all that. We have dogs outside, but they be doing their own thing. I always tell my mom, like, I feel like they clock in and out somewhere. They come in the morning and, they come at night, but you don't really see them too much in the daytime. Sometimes you will. Don't get me wrong. But I ain't really worried about them. And then, if you know a cat, the cat got them paws. Dogs got them paws, but cats got them paws. For real. And I say that, like, the worst bite I ever got, and, like, the baby was under pre-anesthesia, but was from a cat. Okay? Don't play with them. Don't play with them. Just don't do it. Step one. Let's get into it with our affirmations. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am the master of my own destiny. I am abundant. I have abundance. Abundance surrounds me. I am abundant. I have abundance. Abundance surrounds me. I give gratitude constantly for all that which serves me, both now, in the past, and in the future. That one's for free. Yes, give every big hugs to everybody. Big hugs to everybody. So love and vanity, love and vanity. So obviously, you got to start from the beginning. Make sure I don't mess anything up. Start from the beginning. October 20th, 1995. Rock it out. I am Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Virgo Moon, and my love sign, or Venus, is in Scorpio. I love that so much for me, and it's such a whirlwind, and we'll dive deeper into that, definitely. I really kind of, as I do, jumped in. I don't really have my book or anything. I have a whole book. Oh my gosh, and I can't wait to share it with you because she's so awesome. That really helped me come to really see myself and know myself and learn how to begin to really love myself. Like, I love myself in the fact of, like, I continue to, try to see me, understand me, and learn to love this journey. And obviously the creator that created me. So she helped out so much through that book, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. So I just feel like I have to preface with that, just my birthday and just an insight into my being on that surface level, because we're gonna dive in from there. So yes, balance is everything. Balance is key, and that has been a big part of me starting this entire journey, because I still obviously work and build on the brands that I'm creating, that are being created. So learning how to balance all of that out is super fun and interesting every day, honestly. So being an only child and like coming from that space of, you know, that focus being on me all the time. It's not always like super desired, and even now, like, I do not enjoy being the center of attention. I love being acknowledged and I love being seen, but as far as like everybody like looking, that's I don't look for that. You know, it's cool, but I don't look for that. Um and so growing up, it was just me and my mom. My mom, for the most part, single mom, rocking it. I've never known her to work less than 2 jobs. Like, and still to this day, like, she is retired, but she still does whatever she can. Honestly, for the community, like I said, she's got me working at the polls, the elections, in which I love it. I've grown to love it. At first, I was like, did it. But I've really grown to look forward to it. Like, tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm back. Because last time I forgot to ask off work. So I had to work. And so this time I was like, okay, let me just get it together with my ladies. So she does that, and then she works for the school district, like probably several different school districts. And so I love you so much. Shout out again. I love you, mommy. So such a role model, single mom, always been hustling. And that comes with its own things that I've had to unpack as well growing up. But I don't have a child, and I am 3 years older than what she was when she had me. So thank you, mommy. Like, I can only imagine, like, there are many more things to unpack, but I am blessed to only have to really just take care and serve myself. My God, of course. I have kitty cats. Obviously, I have 3 indoor cats and 2 that, like I said, I took in. So 5 altogether. And knowing me, always like growing, adventuring, exploring. So yes, very grateful for to have my mother, like I just said, bear this fruit, because she didn't have to. Y'all know, like, nowadays they're trying to make legislation, or they have made legislation that have tried to strip women's rights away, but everybody has their unique circumstances, and that's all I'm going to say about that. She chose to bear this fruit, and for that I have to be grateful. So being a baby, 1995, I really honestly don't have a whole lot of memory. Like, some people miraculously can just remember their childhood and being a baby and just still have those experiences, but I do remember being traumatized by Barney at a birthday party. Absolutely. Like, I loved Barney on the tape and on the TV. We were cool. That was my dude. It was the big purple dinosaur. Like, I don't know, I love dinosaurs. I would say I love reptiles. 50-50. I always say I would have a snake if I didn't like really know animal, like, not animal medicine, but just like animals, and have studied like animals and know that they are a lot of upkeep, and like, I want to provide an adequate and enjoyable environment to any animal that I have. So, you know, snakes are a lot, and that's just, like I said, that's not a space that I'm in right now. Like, I don't have a child for a reason. More reasons than one. So with that being said, yes, Barney Barney turned me off. He really did. He didn't do it for me. I love Reptar. Shout out Reptar. But honestly, whatever happened in my childhood, I don't enjoy characters dressed up in general. Like, I would never go to a furry convention. Nothing against individuals that enjoy dressing up and doing all of that. That's really cool and and like I was gonna say miraculous for you, and that's really cool and just like marvelous for you. That's awesome for you. Won't be me. I don't. The Easter Bunny. I know that's not how you fight, but do not, please don't. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Do not approach me. Um. Yeah. No. I've for whatever reason I've never been comfortable around those like dressed up characters or beings. So that was an experience for sure. But beyond that, there are a couple of other instances, but as I got older, of course. But when I was smaller, like everything, I was a really good kid. I think everybody says I was a really good kid. Like, you really didn't have to do much. You didn't have to really punish me or like say, oh, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna pop you, or I'm gonna, you could really just kind of like, you raise your voice or something, and I'm gonna start crying. Like, I was a baby, and I'm still a baby to some extent. Don't try me, but I was so sensitive. I just really wanted, I think, to like be I'm sorry. I really just wanted to be I wanted everybody to be happy. I didn't want anybody to be mad at me or angry at me or, sad or anything like that. And, if there was nothing that I could do, I think I would just be quiet. Like, I would just kind of be to myself, playing with my Barbie dolls, playing with my toys. I remember being fairly independent. Like, I'm kind of clingy as a person, like, in certain ways. And so I can imagine I was really clingy with my mom when I could be. Like I said, she was always working a lot, and she did go to school. She finished like her doctorate degree. Don't play with her. Don't play with my mama. She finished her doctorate degree in psychology. So, you know, I was clingy to an extent. I remember having to be paid by my grandparents to not sleep in the bed with her because I just wanted to be in the bed with her. So she actually just texted me. I told her I was gonna maybe come to her meeting tonight. She for the community Democrats, because too they be having food, and I always be trying to like come up on some food or a snack. So I got food though. Honestly, I was just being a butt. And then, but too, I just wanted to go and hang out with my mom. I know that it means a lot. It makes a difference. It means a lot when I can like help, just support her in these spaces. And also I get to learn some things. And it's cool being like, younger and just encourage other younger people to be involved. That's what keeps me going, is seeing like my classmates and stuff like come vote. Like, you gotta get out there and vote. Like, regardless of whatever side you're on, you gotta vote for at least your mindset, your belief system, what you believe. I guess if you believe that you shouldn't vote though, I don't know, just be educated, be informed. That's all I ask. Be educated and be informed. So I was always like that, and I even like slept in the bed with my grandparents for a while. Like, when I was young, I very much, like I said, I just want everybody to be happy. I enjoyed being around my loved ones and things like that. I remember staying at like relatives' houses or friends' houses and then like crying at night, or just being so upset because I wanted my mom to come get me. And I believe on like maybe one or two occasions she actually did like have to come get me, just because I could not rest. Like, and then it's just not enjoyable for anybody when I'm sitting there and I want to go home and I want my mommy. So Very much so that, and it's funny that I say that and how that's evolved just to present day. So there's definitely a lot of space that we have to cover with that. So yes, little me, just happy, beautiful spirit. I believe like now, I even looked at my pictures and like that was a cool little kid. She was real cute. I love you, little Christandra, little Christy. It means so much to be able to look back on those moments. And so always being inspired by the hustle from my mom, but also making notes as we should when we get older, out of respect and out of love, as to how we want to grow and move in life. So I'm always grateful for that, for that, for that. I remember having, like, I still have a lot of pillows, so just always wanting, just the comfort, like, I needed something around me. Like now, it's been something I've had to work through again through my 20s, like learning how to be in a space by myself and not always just having to have like a someone in the room, because at some point you can't have people as props. Like you cannot have people as props. Don't just have somebody there because it's comfortable to have somebody in your atmosphere. Learn how to be in a space on your own. Notes to myself, God is good. So, I have two uncles. I have three uncles now. Shout out. I have three uncles now. But I grew up with two uncles, so my mom has two brothers. And of course, I'm the little girl, like, for what? Almost 10 years. I think like 8 years, 9 years or so. Because I think Tristan, my first cousin, my little cousin, first cousin, but he has a little sister, which is my baby cousin, first cousin. I love them so much. He was born like 01, 02-ish. Don't quote me. I'm really not the best historian, let's be honest. So, but he was born, but so moral of the story, it was just me for a long time. I am the apple of the eye. Like, what is an eye without Christy? Let me stop. But for real, like, I was literally like, that does something for a kid, for real. Like, I still be catching myself today, like, girl, get over yourself. You are 28 years old. You finna be 29 years old. Out here acting like everybody's supposed to be worried about you and what you doing and what you got going on. Like, back in the day, they used to, like, what do you mean? So, of course, life is life, but oh my gosh, it was, of course, amazing. I don't think was that child to ask for a whole lot, but like, I had that family that was like, here's the Toys R Us catalog book, like, what you gonna get? I was well taken care of and severely and deeply loved, and still am to this day, I'm convinced, in everybody's own little way. So with that being said, as with growing in general, you just have to learn, like, life blooms for everybody and everybody plays their role. So like, anyways, my uncles always just made sure I was like, I remember going to Six Flags because my uncle, I think, wanted to like fly me out there or something like that. I don't even remember if it was in Texas or in Georgia, but I was just, the love was everywhere and the attention was always so pure and just in abundance. And so I think that was the hardest thing growing up. One of my uncles, of course, like I said, he had my first cousin, Tristan. Shout out Tristan Miles, I love you so much. And then he had my baby cousin, which she's not a baby, she's about to graduate from high school. Tristan's about to graduate from Howard University. Like, don't play with us. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna knock my microphone over. But for real, don't play with us. So life happens and that attention goes elsewhere. And I'm still like doing my thing. I remember I would babysit and everything. I used to get to go to California like almost every summer while my uncle lived out there, growing his family and really developed a love for travel and that nature. When I was little as well, like before then, speaking to the traveling and adventurous spirit that I have, my granddad was a truck driver. Like he had his own truck, Misty Blue. We love you. Please go look up, I believe, Ella Fitzgerald as well, Misty Blue. One time for my granddaddy, Charles W. McCaskill. Um, so I would go on trips with him sometimes, me and my grandmother. He had bunk beds. Like it was the best time. I'm a child. I don't remember what age really. Maybe like 4, 5, 6 ish. If that, if that, because no, I don't think I was really in school because I was watching Barney tapes. I lived with them for a little while. So I had to be smaller, like preschool. But yes, I loved that so much and got to see so much. And he was like reading the map and stuff back then. Like, shout out Charles W. Cusco. I love you. So yes. And then fast forward to yes, going out to California to be with my uncle and his family, learning babysitting responsibilities. And like, his family too, like seeing that just over the years, I really like, I never just really wanted to continue to be an only child. I think I would ask my mother to like adopt children. Like I wanted a brother or sister. And you know, things just don't happen sometimes, and everything happens for a reason. It doesn't happen for a reason. But I always admire my uncle's family so much as they continue to grow. Like sometimes wishing like I was a part of that. You know, I am a part of it, but you know, like as a sibling, like as the older daughter or whatnot. But they have their dynamic and it's so beautiful and I love it. I love it so much. Like it makes me cry, but in a good way, because like they have that togetherness, you know. That's priceless. Like if you know, you know. Some families unfortunately aren't able to come together like that and stay together like that, especially siblings, and that blows my mind in itself. But like I said, everything's happens for a reason, and I'm glad that they have each other. It's so beautiful. I love them, love them, love them. Note, uncles always amazing, still amazing. I admire them as men, because yes, I do have a father and I love him as well. Obviously. I still obviously would not be here without him, and there's so much of him in me, that I still, like, as with my mother, have had to unpack over the years and am still unpacking. So as little Christy Love, again, a name given to me by my grandmother's sister, rest her soul, Miss Houston Lee. I love you, my best friend growing up. Literally my best friends. Like when I was little, I remember having like petty little fights with little kids all the time. Not like fist fights or physical fights, but like, we're not friends anymore. We're friends now. We're not friends anymore. That type, like that instilled a lot of insecurity in me. Like as a kid and growing up, and still, like, even, you know how it gets once you're in elementary school, it really doesn't get that much better. You get a little bit tighter, but sometimes people move. Like I remember I had some really tight friends, but like one moved to like Montana, another one, you know, they just leave, and that's just life. That's their parents have to do their thing, obviously. So you know, the most stable friendships, I will say, were definitely like with my grandmother's sister. Like we're with my elders, or elderly people, my grandparents, type deal. And still had like my little best friends or whatnot for the most part. But again, life is life. They really started to stick. kind of upper elementary, middle school. But then, of course, once you start getting into the hormones of middle school and going into high school and everything, things start shifting. And then, of course, you have high school and things shift even more. Like, and then you get into the real world and God dog it. So, but as a foundation, it was always rocky, like, like, I probably remember, I would say, I don't know what her last name is, but her first name was Shelby. She was another little black kid, black girl, and she was solid. I remember going to her house. She was one of those ones I think my mama had to come get me one time because I just, I wanted my mommy. But I love Shelby. She was real cool. Shout out Shelby wherever you are in the world. But other than that, yeah, it was just kind of love of adventure. Getting to traveler's spirit and heart now. So you see where those foundations kind of come from. Only child, always having that attention on me. That's why it's just love and vanity. Because while I did like want to make other people around me happy and I guess comfortable, and I really just didn't want to stir the pot too much, I feel like I realized my mom was doing a lot and had a lot going on. I did gymnastics when I was little, like, and I did dance. Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't just like sad and by myself. My mom made sure that I had some things to do. I remember doing like dance or like and like tap when I was maybe, I'm terrible with ages. At some point I did it when I was little. I have pictures. Maybe I can take a picture and like post it in here at some point or another. But it was really cute. I don't think I enjoyed performing in the beginning because, yeah, I don't think that was fun for me. But I did enjoy like the classes, like tapping and stuff like that. And then the facility that I would do this in, there was gymnastics downstairs. So I think I did that, tap and dance, maybe until I was like, 4 or 5. Yeah, that's about right. And then I like got into gymnastics 5, 6 or so, and like did it for a good while. I probably did gymnastics until I was like 9 or 10 because then I did soccer. So gymnastics was fun. I really wish I would have continued to do that. I think when I left gymnastics and started soccer, I enjoyed it, and I still wanted to do. I was like, I'm gonna come back and see. I wanted to do sign up for soccer again, but I think we just like missed the date or something because it was really challenging, and it still is. I have a really good friend. I was gonna say best friend. He is a best friend, but he's like family. Shout out Jacob. He's a soccer coach, and he's doing amazing things right now. And we would go out whenever we met whenever I was at Mississippi State. We worked at Sweet Pepper's Deli together, and it's so awesome, collecting good people in life. So yeah, shout out Coach Hunt. Played soccer and missed the date to like sign up again, so I just didn't go back to gymnastics for one reason or another. I guess at this time too, because we were the Green Raiders in soccer. I was in middle school, I believe, yes. And so I guess this time where I'm like, you're kind of just figuring out other things. I remember I used to draw a lot. And so there's a book back home I'm going to try to remember to get from kindergarten to see like what I wanted to be when I grew up. Because that's something I think about now. Like, what was the very first thing that I said I wanted to be when I grew up? I remember that I wanted to be like an artistic person or like a singer. Or like on TV. I remember actually doing this Star Search thing one time before college, like in high school, and just not following through with it. So yes, it's very much so a full circle moment in a lot of ways in how I am approaching and setting out my path currently. So that's super fun. But I remember going to, in the school district that I was in, we really didn't have uniforms until middle school. I remember upper elementary being able to kind of wear whatever you wanted to wear up until like maybe seventh grade, and they were also changing some things with the gradings and the grade levels and things like that. So I think sixth grade you could wear whatever, but then seventh grade they changed it to like middle school, seventh and eighth grade, and so then we had to wear uniforms. So I remember sketching out in my little book. I'm gonna have to find that too because I think I kept all of this stuff. Just sketching out how the little uniforms were gonna look. But like I said, I wanted to sing and I wanted to kind of like draw or dance, but I'm gonna be real, I've never been really just great at any of those things. Womp womp womp. Anyways, I still enjoy them and I'm still gonna do them. That doesn't mean that you can't do something just because I guess you're not good at it, or it's, you know, there's somebody else that's better. There's always somebody else that's gonna be better. So in that respect, a lot of my foundation, part one of this, just stems from my mother being in a single parent household for the most part. My grandparents played such a large role, and that's actually, this is the space that I'm in now, is their home. Shout out Charles and Bernadette. They're unmatched souls. Y'all know, lifted spirit for Charles. Grandmother's still here, Miss Bernadette. We taking care of her, but they were so instrumental in so much. Like I said, I was on the road with my granddaddy and my grandmother. My grandmother and my mom, they're Alpha Kappa Alpha, part of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated. So, you know, a prestigious level, especially in our Black community. A prestigious sorority, I won't say level, a prestigious sorority. Shout out to the other sororities established at HBCUs, led by beautiful Black women. We love y'all. We admire y'all. So just educators, my mom, my grandmother, my granddaddy. My granddaddy taught music. Grandmother, I believe, taught like English and some other things. Like, just always around knowledge and prestige and class, good character, big hearts too. Everybody has their flaws, believe me, and this is another thing that I had to work through growing up. Everybody has their flaws, no matter who they are to you. We are all only people in life. We can only be what we are created to be. So, and how we're created to be. So I lived with my grandparents for at least a year, but then also, like, I always just loved being over here. Like, this is home for me. Like, my mom and I grew up, we were, I believe, when I was born. From when I was born, we lived in a nice little trailer park in Oak Grove, which is kind of in Hattiesburg, my hometown. It's like on the outskirts, but Oak Grove now is like its own community and little town. But anyways, lived over there. I actually went to kindergarten in Oak Grove, so I was a warrior at one time. Then moved to Petal, and then kind of grew from there. Lived in a couple of houses over there. Lived in Summerall, which is like, these are all places kind of like around Hattiesburg, and now she's back in Petal for the most part. So, but you know, this was the constant for me, moral of the story. And so this is always home. This is where I want all my holidays. This is where I want to just continue to grow as a person. This is somewhere I want to always be in our family. Blessedly so. So yeah, I feel like that is a really good a good lead in to the foundations of Christy Love, Christandra, um, and getting to know me as a person, unpacking from there, from this, which is, I feel like, already a lot. This is probably largely up to age like um let's say, because we kind of talked about soccer and dance, so 10 ish. You know, we've talked about my uncle having kids. That's bleeding now. It's come investigated and you hear jingling. It's the cat. Um, so my uncle having kids and adjusting to that. And so, yes, getting up into, there were really no super, I don't think, like standout moments in school. There were a few, but I don't think they're really pertinent to the information I told y'all about wishy-washy friends. This has always been kind of like, this is not now. Disclaimer, this is not now. One, because my circle is super small, like super small. But two, just because life is life. We talked about that, so yeah, we'll just jump into kind of getting into middle school, because that's when we get into what our first kind of like love and everything, you know, start dating and developing feelings and hormones really start coming into play. So part one, Love and Vanity with your girl Christy Love. Super excited to like dive in deeper with you guys and getting to know me and how this journey is developing in, you know, as a person, why it's so important to like sit down and talk and document this kind of like mental journal and dialogue. And also, before I go, as a little act of love, I really want to share a little bit of the blog post release that I am dropping. It's going to be dropped by the time this video is up, but go check it out on my blog. I have a link tree. Go check that out. I'm going to be posting about it, but it's release. And this is a build up on just early morning thoughts and things that I've been going through. I might do a little snippet video of how I came into this, but my goal is to always is to write at least once a day, growing consistency around that. So I did write one morning, and this is a product of that. I'm so proud of myself, and I really hope y'all can get into it and enjoy it. I'm gonna start somewhere random. So generally interactions feel more of a chore, but intimately they seem more intriguing. Like, that's what I miss. Pondering, analyzing, and absorbing shared intimacy. If it's not obvious that I reside largely in my head, I'm sure a flag has been raised. Why is it so mental when the heart is at the center of it all? The energy seems to shoot back and forth like a lightning bolt, charging all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of the past decade as I continue to pedal through the emotions left behind. My legs are goop. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. This is your girl, Christy Love, and the Love Language Podcast on the Love Language Podcast. Whatever you want it to be. Oh, that is me and LUV, Life Unapologetically Vibrant, living in vibrancy always, and unapologetically sharing through the language of love. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. We're going to be back, obviously, for at least part 2. There might be more to the little sequel. Dallas Stage, check it out. Please like, share, subscribe, follow me on the socials, like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook I'm gonna work on a little bit for you guys, because it's very much so still like old school for me. I don't really get on there a whole lot, but I'm trying to a little bit more. And I really want to increase my engagement with everybody. As I increase engagement with myself, let's increase engagement with each other. I'm really appreciative of you. Honestly. I love you guys. Please take care. Keep it cool. Until next time, it's your girl Christy Love and the Love Language Podcast. I'm signing out.